Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. And we are 1 week away from the NFL draft. And you know what that means? That means mock drafts and mock draft simulators on the internet. And I'm going to go over a few of the ones I tested out and show you what I liked and what I didn't like and what I think is the best one of the bunch. Now, the first simulator we're going to talk about is from NFLMockDraftDatabase.com. And I'm going to put a link in the description to this one as well as all the other simulators I'll be talking about in this video. So this format will be where we are currently on the clock. So we've already set up the draft for the Raiders, how many rounds, etc. And so we're here on the clock at 17. This shows the picks prior to our pick. And you can obviously scroll up here. It has my selection tab once you get into the draft, so you can see who we selected. So that's a plus right there. And then the best available players based on their ranking, and you can sort those out by position. But I really want to focus on the trade function here. Now the trade function is similar to that of other mock draft simulators where they have your picks and their picks, and you can go into the 2022 selections as well. What I really like about this one is that it has this little bar here. Now, as you make your options here, one way or the other, it'll show what they feel, how equitable the trade is by the lighted up bar. So if they felt like, for example, the Raiders, it was heavily on our favor, it'd come over here and vice versa. So, and this trade button will be grayed out until you can get this in the green. So I like that option. That's number one. Number two, I really like is that what I've talked about in previous videos where I would absolutely consider trading the 17th pick for the 33 and the 45 from Jacksonville, and it actually allowed me to do it in the mock draft simulator. So here's the post-draft screen, so it gives you a nice little recap of any of the trades you made as well as the selections as you can scroll down. So as far as grades go, I gave it overall a B. It didn't do anything outstanding, but it didn't really do anything wrong either. I did like that trade function, but you know, maybe it could have been a little bit higher, but I do like it and I'll probably use it again. So I would encourage you to use this one for sure. So this on the clock screen is from PFF, Pro Football Focus, and that's the next simulator we're going to talk about. Not only have I used this in my own mock draft video, but in last weekend's live stream mock draft. So in the on the clock screen, it showed that we had 7 interested teams willing to trade with us at the time. So if you go to that, it'll give you this drop down of the teams. You could also try to make an offer with the other teams as well. And the team you select, it'll just show the picks they have of 22, and it even has the 23 season here. Now you just make your selections and then you offer the trade, and it'll either be red or green. And it only lets you have 5 chances at making a trade before you have to move on. Now you can force trades if you want to, but they won't be graded. Here's a snapshot of the summary screen. Once your draft is completed, it'll show your trades, and then it also gives you grades here. Now, as far as the trades go, I've talked about this in previous videos, and I don't feel they're very equitable. You have to give a little bit more than I think you should based on the draft pick charts that are out there on the internet. But it also gives you draft grades for each individual pick you make as well. As far as the grades, I gave it a B-. It would probably have been a B if the trading portion wasn't so wonky and I think so uneven. I still think it's worth a look if you'd like to do that, but I do think there are other better options out there. This next one is from Fanspeak.com, and I've used this one in the past, but I'm going to tell you some of the problems I have with the latest iteration of it. For one, the upgraded looks I think look terrible. It's very small and narrow. You basically just get a column here, and they tend to have, I know they need advertising, but there's advertising here. There's some that I've cut off at the top as well, and it just seems like that's more of what they want to provide here, instead of it being on the side and you can, you know, as an option that you can choose. I think it's promoted a little bit too much. The functionality is kind of wonky, and the big thing with this one is that you have to get a premium subscription and pay money to actually use the full functions, including trades. So, you know, there's other ones out there that are for free. I mean, if it's your money, if you choose to do that, that's fine. I don't, especially when there's other better options out there. This next one is from the draftnetwork.com, and a couple things that kind of stand out to me is that this looks a lot like the ESPN. If you're into fantasy football, the ESPN fantasy draft, it looks like they just kind of basically lifted it from it. And personally, I like it because it's easier to see who's drafted next. Plus, it gives you the log, and you can look at your picks as well. Not all the simulators have that. And then the board, typical thing. But there are some problems with this one as well. Now, first and foremost, I give it a D for functionality because, like Fanspeak.com, they require you to get a premium membership to use the full functionality of the simulator, including trades. So you can see there were no trades here. Some of the realism I kind of question as far as their rankings. Overall, it looks good, but I think there are better, more fun simulators out there. Now, the last simulator we're going to go over is from ProFootballNetwork.com or PFN. Now, once you get it to your pick on the clock, there is an option here that no other simulator has, and that is this trade offer button right here. Now, if it's in green, what happens is that means the AI is going to give you offers versus you having to send offers out, which I think is pretty neat. Now, you can do both. You can send or, in this case, receive offers. So what you do is you want to click on this button. Then you go here, and this box will pop up, and it'll say the offers you have and what the deal that they want. And you can either accept or reject, and then you can look at the other offers as well, which I think really gives a unique vantage point, or feels a lot more realistic than any of the simulators just with this function alone. And then the summary screen here, pretty basic. It gives you your picks, and these just indicate if you've traded into or out of that, or down to that pick or up to that pick. I gave it overall an A-, and the reason I did was I wasn't very impressed with how it looks. It's kind of pretty basic, but the functionality and I would say like the funness of it is through the roof for me, because just those trade offers that you get, it feels a lot more realistic than any of the other simulators, to be honest with you. And then you can kind of go back and forth and then offer trades yourself. And to me, that's more that, I mean, it could look better, but I would rather have the functionality more so than the aesthetics. That said, last weekend's live mock draft live stream was well received, and we had a lot of fun doing it. So we're going to do it again this weekend, this Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, 10 Central. But this time we're going to be using the PFN Pro Football Network simulator, and I think it's going to be even better because it's going to add this variability of being able to receive trade offers. So I encourage you to come out and join us and have some fun with this. I also encourage you to use the links in the description below and test out some of these simulators yourself. You can test them all out or just the ones that I recommend. If you did find value in this video, give it a thumbs up. Put your comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and supporting this channel. And as always, go Raiders.